Good day guys, Kang here. Welcome to Langrisser 3.0 news from the future. So yep, on this video we'll be featuring the upcoming 2 new characters that will be released in 2021 February. Lord of the Crimson Moon, Lain and Sissy White. So are you ready? Before we go on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app. So at the end of the video, I'll just show you guys most probably inaccurate English translations of the character skills and talent. Alright, here we go. So number 1, we will be featuring, ta-da, the guy with the new haircut. Lain, also known as Lord of Crimson Moon. Apparently, when it first came out, the news his name is supposed to be Lord of Crimson Moon Lain, but at a finalized version, I guess they cut it off. But to make it easy for this whole video, I'm gonna call him Lain, and Sissy White, I'm just gonna call her Sissy. Okay, so a quick look at the new Slate Design of Lain. Yep. So okay, it has a weird crimson moon crest behind, and this is his new design. Okay, I gotta say that I definitely still prefer his older haircut version. Yep. Though not too shabby for his new design, but well, he just looked slightly younger. Alright, for talent, so just a rough translation, it will be Crimson Moon Scattering. Yep. Going to if pronounced in Japanese, it will sound more, well, it sounds better. Akatsuki Saka, if I'm not wrong. So yep. Okay, number 1. Everything I'll be saying in about his talent will be at rank 6. So okay, 3, 2, 1. Number 1, AoE damage increased by 15%. And number 2, after dealing damage for every enemy that got hit by AoE damage from Lain, he will recover 15% max HP. Number 3, in addition, for every enemy that got hit by the AoE, and if there is also any ally standing beside the enemy, so it will be 1 square or tiles beside them, Lain will be dealing an additional fixed damage follow-up of 0.5 times intelligence to or the enemy. So alright, in case you guys got a bit confused, we will be going through again. So number 1, at rank 6, dealing AoE damage to a maximum of 15%. Number 2, for every enemy that got hit, he will recover 15% of his HP. Number 3, for every enemy that got hit, in addition, any enemy that got hit plus and any ally that stand beside 1 square or tiles beside the enemy, Lain will be dealing an additional fixed damage of 0.5 times his intelligence to all of them. So personally, I quite like the AoE damage part and HP recovery part, but the follow-up apparently for now may not seem that exciting, because by now quite a lot of characters has been able to provide skills that can be immune to fixed damage. But then again, that's my opinion. So for faction, okay, he's of 3 faction: Mythical Realm, the Downers faction, and what? Origin of Light. Oh, so this is a sign that the next XP mode is gonna be Dihato. Alright, the initial job scope. So this is Primary. It will be known as last descendants of another planet or another star. Yep. Okay, the first skill, oh wow, I can't remember the name, but it's a life steals that our older generation's characters least style possess is a melee life steals. So in rough translation, it's gonna be rainbow suctions. Yep, bear with me, guys. So it's a single attack, deal 1.5 times damage to enemy after battle. Heal 30% of the battle damage to your HP. Second skill is a passive see through. Yep. Okay, increase critical by 10%. After dealing damage, you have 50% chance of rendering enemies' passive skills inactive. It will last for 2 turns. However, when critical happens, instead of 50%, these skills will proc for 100%. Okay, next we will have Avengers from another planet. Yep. Okay, so on his second path is known as Swordsman from another planet. So it's a AoE skill. Wither is an old skill. Okay. Magic damage deal AoE damage to enemies 0.3 times AoE damage and cause enemy unable to receive any buff, and it will last for 2 turns. Okay, on the tier 3 will be Avengers from another planet. We will see 2 strong skills. One is a unique skills black hole and the other is an exclusive skills for Lain. Alright, we'll go on with the new exclusive skills. Blood Crystal Protections or Blessing from the Blood Crystals. Okay, it's a passive skill and it provides survive for death blow. So number 1, when receiving a death blow, it will survive and resurrect 20% of his HP. After triggering this passive skills, when Lain actively deal damage to enemy, he will receive a layer of Force of the Blood Crystal. The effect of this effect is damage reduction will be reduced by 2%. It can be stacked up to a maximum of 5 layers. When Lain has 5 layers of Force of Crystal, at the end of the turn, he will lose all Force of a Blood Crystal counter, and he will reset his survive from death blow and resurrect 20% HP skills. Do note that Force of the Blood Crystal cannot be dispelled nor immune. Oh, finally, after almost 3 years, well, I'll finally have a character with infinity or maybe almost infinity resurrection loop. So as long as there is 5 enemies on the field, Lain Force, well, can keep resurrect himself from death blow under certain situations. So alright, we're going to repeat again. So a passive skill number 1 allow Lain to survive a death blow and recover 20% of his HP. Number 2, after triggering this passive skills, when Lain actively deal damage to enemy, he will gain a layer or a counter of Blood Crystal Force. The effect is to reduce damage reduction by 2%. It can be stacked up to 5 layers to a maximum of 10% reduction. Number 3, when Lain has at least 5 or just gain 5 Blood Crystal Force, he will lose or reset the skills, and he will regain the ability to survive a death blow and resurrect 20% maximum HP whenever he got, death blow again. Number 4, these skills cannot be dispelled nor immune. So, okay, this is a very definitely strong buff because even if you got cast with Wither, he will still get buff. Not sure this is considered buff or not, but okay, interesting skills. Okay, the last skills which well is trying to make him like entering a dark path is Black Hole. Attack is an AoE damage to enemy, deal 0.36 times AoE damage and deal random to debuff to enemy units. So wow, okay, this is just the Avengers path from Another Stars. Okay, next path we will be going through on his. Okay, this looks like a Lancer class, and apparently he's an intelligence hero. Kind of weird. Okay, but also cool, and this will be known as. Okay, Lord of the Blood Crystal, or the controller of the Blood Crystal path. I think I'm gonna go with Lord of the Blood Crystal. It sounds cooler. So yep. Okay, it's Holy Path. So okay, the first skill is okay, Descendants of the Blood Crystals, and this is the second path, Judgment. Okay. Sorry if I translate wrongly, but the skill effect is a magic damage deal 2 squares or tiles around Lain, and all enemies around 2 squares or tiles around him will take 0.3 times AoE damage and will have 2 strong buff dispelled. It's an old skill that is shared by Chris, but based on just the Chinese translation, I will go with Judgment. So yep. Okay, the third path, Lord of the Blood Crystal. Okay, the first skills will be Strengthen, so it's a support skill. Increase a single target's unit's attack intelligence by 20%, immune to attack intelligence reduction, or unable to use active skill. It will last for 2 turns. Okay, the next skill again is a new exclusive skills for Lain. It is known as Fall of the Stars. Magic damage, and it's a very it's kind of unique. Summon 4 meteor and attack randoms enemy within the range. For every meteor that hit, it will deal 0.3 times AoE damage. A single enemy can get hit to a maximum of 2 meteors damage. Whoa. But the second damage taken will be, the damage received will be reduced by 50%. For every enemy that got hit by the skill, the cooldown of this skill will be reduced by 1 turn. Whoa, this sounds cool and crazy at the same time. So alright, we're gonna re-summarize again. Number 1, summon 4 meteor to attack enemy in range. It's an AoE attack. Number 2, for every the damage of every meteor will be 0.3 times AoE damage. Each enemy can be hit to a maximum of 2 times or receive 2 times AoE damage from the meteor. However, number 3, if the enemy is taking the second damage, instead the damage they take will be reduced by 50%. And number 4, for every enemy that got hit, the cooldown of these skills will be reduced by a turn. So wow, this is something very unique and cool. I think this maybe a new gimmick that Zilong is coming up to make Langrisser more fun and exciting. That's how I feel. What about you guys? If anything, leave it down in the comment sections below. And next we will be finally going through his 3C. It is known as Dark Side of the Moon. Alright, I definitely said that they took it from Transformers movie. Yes, Dark Side of the Moon. Okay, again, it's a very good, I won't say it's very good, but well, it's a 3C with both passive and active skills. So yep, for passive, when you receive attack, you obtain Moon Shadow Crest or counter, okay? The effect of Moon Shadow will allow Lain to have, when receiving AoE damage, he will have reduced by the damage by 25%. So he will only take in 75% of damage. When he ends his turn, oh, he will dispel 3 debuff on himself, which will last for a turn. Number 3, when obtaining Moon Shadow, enemy will not be able to attack him or target him with skills. For moon effects to trigger, it will take every 3 turns to be able to activate again. Whoa, this sounds slightly crazy because it is a fusion between, I'm not sure which characters, but definitely our last previous collaboration, he has the skills of Himiko and yep, slightly with a bit of Hien, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna re-summarize the passive skills. When being attacked, you obtain Moon Shadow, number 1. The number 2 effects of Moon Shadow is that damage taken from AoE will be reduced by 25%. Number 3, when he ends his turn, he'll remove up to 3 debuff from himself. It will last for a turn. Number 4, when Lain has possessed or has Moon Shadow in effect, he will not becomes an enemy single attack or skill targeting target. So yep. Number 5, for Moon Shadow's effects to trigger again, it will take 3 turns. Okay, I will say it's 50% crazy, maybe 50% not. Who knows? Because for this thing to trigger again, it takes 3 turns, but nonetheless, damage reductions by 25% for AoE damage, dispelling debuff, free is a free skills you do not need to cast, and enemy will not be able to cast skills or normal attack on Lain directly is definitely a bonus. Okay, now to the active skills is magic damage. Whoa, just the active skills alone is killing me off, man. This is strong. Alright, active skills. Teleport Lain to the skill casting location. Afterwards, do AoE damage to enemy who are 3 squares or tiles around Lain. Then he will steal 1 strong buff from them and will do a strong debuff on the enemy. Then he will obtain Dark Side of the Moon effect. It will cause enemy 2 squares or tiles around him to have healing effect reduction by 50%, and it will last for a turn. Okay, we will be going to re-summarize the skills again, but okay, the first part and second part looks good, but Dark Side of the Moon itself is not too good, but it's definitely going to be one of the new meta. So hear me out in well. Okay, we will be re-summarizing. Number 1, teleport Lain to target skill casting point. Number 2, deal 0.335 times damage to enemy 3 squares or tiles beside him. Number 3, steal 1 strong buff. And number 4, cast a strong debuff on the enemy. So number 5, and obtain Dark Side of the Moon effect, which is cause enemy 2 squares or tiles around him to have healing reduction reduced by 50%, and it will last for a turn. So yep, it's a teleportation AoE skills like the usual Lain Force, but the damage is slightly higher, I guess, 0.35 times, and will steal buff from enemy and cause strong debuff to them. But okay, the last part is to cause healing reduction. Okay, so it might be a new meta because a lot of characters right now will have skills that will allow characters to be immune to no healing or reverse healing, either skills or items. But currently there has no items or skills that prevent from healing reduction. So in future this might be one of the new meta. And alright, last but not least, for this part of the video, so on next part we'll be featuring on Sissy White. And alright, last but not least, about his bond. Okay, either good news or bad news for you guys. Okay, for his bond, he will definitely need Brenda and Shilinka. So alright, we have come to the end of part 1 of this video for Crimson Moon Lord Lain, and on the next video we will be featuring on the new immortal waifu Sissy White. So yup, this will be the rough English translation. So yup. Alright, we've come to the end. Remember to like and subscribe my video, and if you have any question or suggestion, leave it down in the comment sections below. This is Kami signing off, and we will see you guys on the next Langrisser 3.0. Goodbye.